Greetings, Algo artisans. Apple collaborating with Jasmy. What is it doing to the charts? We're going to jump into the charts and take a look at the news right now. Okay, so here's Jasmy. Had a killer February and decent March there. Slowed down in the last 4 weeks, has really gone up. It's gone from 1.7 cents all the way up to over 3 cents, almost doubled in that time. And we've had some moves of over 20% due to some news that Apple is going to collaborate or is already collaborating with Jasmy. So before we get into the news, let's take a look at what price might do in the near term and what price might do in the long term. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Fibonacci extension based on this first move up going back to February to see if there's more to go in this current move. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to use this trend line to outline the move, and then I'm going to use a Fibonacci extension tool to map that out. And so far, the first target has not been hit. The first target as far as Fibonacci extensions go has not been hit, and that would be at about 3.38 cents and 4.19 cents. That's where those two first targets are. Now we could take it all the way from like an ABCD move or a one-to-one type move. If price were to move as far as it did on the first extension, it would take price right up to 5 cents, which right below that is an old resistance. So that's actually a pretty key area, and price may make its way past that. And if you look at the trend right now, it might do it rather quickly. But before we get too excited, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the higher time frame resistances. So I'm using pivot points from the last bull run in 2022 when it retraced. We have one sitting at about that 5 cent mark. We were just talking about that. And then we have one at 8.5 cents, one at 11.9 cents, one at 19.13 cents, one at 26, and one at 35. So these are just all pivot points that are mapping out where price rejected on the way down from that bull run, right? On the way down from when it tried to rally back up and then got crushed back down. And if I were holding this coin, I might be paying attention to those levels a little further into the future to decide whether or not I was going to take profit. If it's a coin that I really believe in and I'm holding it through the bull market, there's a good chance that I'm not going to take profit at those higher levels, but there are always times when I want to at least shave some off to, number one, take profit, and number two, to put into other projects. So with that being the case, let me show you what I might do as far as a trade plan. It would have been nicer to get in lower, but of course that's always the case, and Jasmy did retrace with everything else, but right now it is acting a lot stronger than a lot of coins. And given what this coin is, maybe it's slightly fundamental. Maybe it's more than slightly fundamental. Now, I can't do any Fibonacci extensions quite yet because I don't know that price has started to retrace. It's actually really strong on the weekly algos. It's looking pretty darn strong on that. And as far as the daily algos, we're going to take a brief look at that before we get into some trading strategies. So as of now, it does appear that price is retracing on the low time frame. So let's go ahead and choose some short-term targets. Again, there's this first 272 target from that longer extension. So price did reject right below that, and there's a decent chance that it's going to actually pop up and grab that pretty soon. The daily is looking very strong, and any pullback that it has might be abbreviated. In fact, it's hard to say right now, but the pullback that we're seeing right here that's been going on the last couple of days here, that pullback might be already done. Let's take a look at what might happen with that. It's basically touched the 382 almost. It might still run down and touch it. It might not, but I'd say price right now is, again, in the middle of a pullback. I do have some algos that would give me a clue as to when it might be time to go ahead and buy. And if you look at this extension, the 272 from this extension right here also lines up with this higher time frame 272. So I would say if I were to go ahead and trade this, if I were to take a position here now or soon, I might look at taking some profit off right before this 272 because there's a lot of confluence right there between the high time frame 272 and this current 272. The next place I might shave off some profit if I were taking a short-term trade might be sitting at this 618, which is 3.67 cents. And that is based again on this impulse right here. I'm going to map it out, make it easy to see from there to there. So that Fibonacci extension based on that move right there, again, I might take a little bit of profit off at about say 3.7 cents and then let price continue to move, maybe even move my stop to entry at that point. However, for a higher time frame move, I would be looking at some of these higher levels right here. I wouldn't worry so much about the smaller extensions if I were taking higher time frame trades. Simple as that. I might take a smaller smaller trade for this lower time frame, and then another trade possibly bigger for the higher time frame. And let's go ahead and map out what that looks like again on the higher time frame chart. And here it is, pretty simple. I'm not sure that we're going to see another pullback before it runs up. It may happen. The algos are rather bullish, so if I were to take a trade on this, I would have a hard time choosing a good stop loss because this first target is so close. I could have a stop loss below, say, this candle right here, but you really don't have a lot of room up until this 272. Now, it's not a structural level, but it's a Fibonacci extension, and there's always a decent chance the price is going to hit that and then pull back and continue up. Always a chance. Now, if it doesn't, it doesn't. So if you really think it's not going to do that, of course, what one could do, and this is not investment advice, one could take a position here and have some kind of a stop loss, maybe on a lower time frame. However you decide to do your stop loss, one way to do it would be to use this consolidation as a support. This that I'm about to map out right now. This prior consolidation right about here, and it's a little messy, but when it broke out, price kind of didn't necessarily come back down and grab that liquidity, right? So there is liquidity sitting right there, and there are a lot of wicks that are higher. I mean, this really could be defined a bit higher if we wanted to. I just like how I have it right here. Price might dive back down to grab an opportunity to have a second entry, and in the meantime, if I had a stop loss a little deeper behind all these wicks, it might be a decent way to grab this trade for the higher time frame move up to this 5-cent level, and maybe just simply take a position for the longer run, and maybe even take some profit at this 618. But again, that is the lower time frame trade, and so we're going to ignore that for now, take that off the chart. If I were just going to take the short-term trade, I personally would wait. Now, I might never get this trade, I might never get this entry. We're getting into a bull market, but I'm fine with that. There are always other trades. I'm not thirsty for trades, right? I'm going to take the trades that make sense to me. So I personally, I'd wait for price to come back down and maybe grab some liquidity off the top of these wicks. Maybe it doesn't go down quite that low. Maybe it stops a little bit higher, but at least I'm not buying into this bullish candle. I'll let it come back down. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's fine by me, but I would end up getting a much better risk to reward, more like a 3 or 4 to 1 instead of trying to get this less than 2 to 1 plus having a resistance at this 618, this first target. If I go down here, even to the first target, it's going to be like a 1.3 to 1, something like that, 1.2. So even that first target makes sense if price pulls back, and price almost always pulls back at some point. A lot of people probably saw this move right here before it pulled back, and so I gotta buy it now. And then what they did was they bought right here, and then price pulled back down, and they could have had a much better entry for whatever trade they took, or they might have been stopped out even. So pullbacks happen. Algos do help us kind of tell when the pullbacks happen, but it can be a little bit tricky with FOMO. Sometimes FOMO makes it so price just can't be charted. We do have a good way of trading FOMO over at algofactory.tech, and not very many people have a good system for that. We do. Come on over to algofactory.tech and we'll show it to you. Let's go ahead and take a look at why price might be going so hard on this coin. All right, so here is some news from News BTC saying that rumor of Apple partnership sends crypto altcoin soaring by 20%. Whirlwind of speculation is currently surrounding the crypto asset Jasmy coin, colloquially termed the Bitcoin of Japan, following a recent announcement from the Prime Minister's Office of Japan. That's a pretty big deal. Yesterday was disclosed that a video conference between Prime Minister Kishida and Apple CEO Tim Cook had confirmed the integration of Japan's My Number card function into iPhones by next spring. Now, just a brief understanding of Jasmy coin and what it is. This is an Internet of Things coin. And one of the issues with Internet Things is data privacy, right? You're going around, you're doing things, you're buying things, you're calling people, you're looking at websites, and data privacy is something that a lot of people are concerned about. And so what Jasmy coin does, in theory, is to help you have complete control over that privacy and that data. That's why Apple CEO and the integration of Japan's My Number card is important. It's Internet of Things. Obviously, your iPhone is a big thing with a lot of data, so this is huge. It's right in the middle of what this coin is made for. And it says here that the news has sparked a significant rally for Jasmy, leading to a 20% increase in market value within the last 24 hours, pushing its market capitalization to $1.4 billion and ranking the 67th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. The altcoin's 24-hour trading volume has also surged by 400% to 570 million. Now think about this. This coin is now worth 1.4 billion, at least as of this article, and more than a third of its entire market cap was traded in the last 24 hours. And already it was 1/12 of its market cap, right? It surged 400% to become a third. So before that, it was actually rather still large. large, almost 10% of it trading without this event. So this is a pretty interesting coin. We're going to jump through some of the tokenomics and we're going to move on here. Tokenomics here are market cap of 1.5 billion, so bigger than when this article was written, and $350 million in trading volume. So still doing really well. 25% of the market cap being traded over 24 hours. Circulating supply is almost the total supply, and the maximum supply is also the total supply. So we are not worried about an inflationary scenario. According to this, they're not going to print any more than 50 billion coins, and 49.3 billion are out and about. So it should be not an issue as far as somebody coming and dumping coins on the market. And we've talked about what this coin is, but again, just to briefly say it here, the Jasmy platform was built to restore and protect the sovereignty of individual data by combining Internet of Things technology with blockchain tech and giving users full control over their personal information. The main goal of the project is to establish a secure environment on the platform where users can exchange data in a trustless manner between IoT devices and decentralized protocols. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's the basis of this coin. And just a quick look at their roadmap, which is on their Twitter page, which is at JasmyMGT. So Q1 had they're already having passed these marks here time-wise. Partnership with big IoT device company. Sounds like Apple might have been there. Development new function with the company. That might be Apple right there. So it looks like whatever was happening, if that in fact was Apple, was being talked about quite some time ago, and that makes sense for a company that's big. Task number 2, additional AI specifications for personal data locker. So more of their AI customization and there's wallet implementation. And they plan to have more feature activation towards the end of the year, Q3, Q4. So definitely seems like they're following the roadmap, and it seems like they're following the most important parts of that roadmap with this quote unquote big IoT device company. Sounds like that was Apple. Pretty cool to see. A lot of people talk a lot of big game, but this is actually what's going on. So let's move on from Jasmy. We've beat the living daylights out of that, and let's take a look at 99BITCOINS presale. I found this while I was looking at Jasmy coin, and this is a presale that is past 1.7 million, and it's an educational platform. It's called 99BITCOINS, 99BTC. It's a presale on now. It's an educational platform with over 2 million registered users for its courses and more than 700,000 subs on its YouTube channel. So clearly it's got a pretty big following, and the presale is, I don't even know where it's at right now. And again, this is not investment advice. You got to do your own research, but it says here that with the introduction of its 99 Bitcoin token ICO, the project is set to introduce a groundbreaking learn to earn model. It's gamifying crypto education by allowing token holders to tackle challenges and complete lessons to earn higher rankings and 99 BTC tokens as rewards. Pretty interesting project. Here's their website. It's a good looking website. I wouldn't be surprised if they used AI for this. Some of these AI drawings and stuff are just amazing. It's a great looking website. And this is where the opportunity to buy that is. You got 3 days yet left. USDT raised 1.79, so almost 1.8 million. Could be interesting. It's definitely so far a low market cap coin. However, of course, like anything else, these can go to zero. You can lose your money doing these things. So nothing's guaranteed in any market ever. But you look at some of the articles that have been written about it. You've got Cointelegraph, Bitcoinist, Crypto News, News BTC, CoinDesk. So some pretty big names talking about it so far. And this, of course, talks about learn as you earn and everything that goes along with it. Interactive crypto learning, token rewards, and you do have crypto trading signals. This is going to attract a lot of people. It says join a vibrant community of traders aiming to maximize their profit potential. With the 99BITCOINS token, you'll gain access to expert crypto trading signals to help give you the edge in a fast-moving market. Connect with fellow traders, share your learnings, and improve your ability to play alpha calls. So that's going to attract a lot of people right there. People don't understand, like, I'm in the world of trading. I understand how much people want to trade. And when you can offer quote unquote expert signals, then you are going to get a fair amount of people, especially if those signals are legit. If they bring money, then this will bring people. That's definitely the case. It's a question of how many people. Anyway, this is the community. Earn rewards for staking. So it's got a little bit of a DeFi scenario. Here's your allocation. You got 10.5% pre-sale, staking at 14%, project funds 30%. So those will be sold to spend money on the project. Rewards at 17, liquidity at 8, and marketing at 23. Well, I'm not seeing a lot of coins being held by the project except for the project funds. That might have to do with what could get dumped on the market, but again, we're in the middle of a bull market, so I don't usually worry about these with a good project, if this is a good project, because people are going to hold coins through the bull most of the time. There's always that chance that the project needs money and has to sell it to fund the project. That's actually what that wallet is for, but it just depends how much money they need. Now you got the roadmap all the way through through 2024 and beyond. The CEX listings are looking at Q4. They have a DEX launch, Q3 2024, which is technically tomorrow. I believe June starts that. So, you're looking at getting ready to go. And there is an airdrop as well. All right, so this is pretty cool stuff. Here's your staking data. Estimated rewards, wow, 933%. Obviously, they're still in the middle of the pre-sale, so I imagine as people gather and stake, this will probably fall. I mean, I'm guessing 933% is just based on nobody staking yet. Good. Well, I hope this video was helpful. Please come on over to algofactory.tech. We help traders learn how to build trading strategies that can enable them to extract money from the markets on a regular basis. You don't have to know how to code. A lot of people are trading manually with their algorithms. There are those who do want to have theirs coded. We can help get you on the path to do that as well so that it can trade for you while you're not even at the computer. That is a possibility. We actually have some traders who are very happy with their progress at Algo Factory. Let's hear from one of them right now.
Hey guys, so I've been in Algo Factory for around 10 months now. I held crypto, but I hadn't traded crypto or Forex before. Since joining, I've learned a massive amount that I use almost daily for trading, reading charts, using indicators, and understanding different aspects of the market. So I found the course incredibly easy to follow, and the interactive style of teaching is incredibly beneficial. So now that I'm comfortable in my trading ability, I'm starting to invest more capital, and projections are looking very promising. My goal is to be trading full-time in the future, which I believe is highly achievable. I've met an amazing community of like-minded people and made some great friends. In my opinion, both V and Cowboy go above and beyond, and I highly recommend joining Algo Factory. Thanks for everything, legends. Cheers.
All right, thank you for listening to that. AlgoFactor.tech. Don't forget, trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you on the next one.